Call, baby.
I like being over here because I watch us over here. I just watch us over here.
Yeah,
I look at the screen, I just point, I go, that's my boy. That's my boy. That's my boy.
Like me or AJ?
I don't know. WayJ's over here. Yeah, WayJ's over here. What's up, fellas? Cowboys Can Fan Show in the hizzy.
Actually, you beside me like that, we are on the same, like, I don't know, what is it, baritone? Like, we hit that same level.
We're monotone.
We're both tone deaf.
We're both tone deaf.
But if we hit the same frequency, the same octave, then it sounded great.
I don't know what you just said, but welcome to the Cowboys Can Fan Show. Got my boy, bandwagon boy, one beside me to my left, and then all the way across the Pacific Ocean, B-Dub-B2 with that sexual Micah Parsons. Crack him if you got him, if you got one with you. But WayJ, Stat Boy, Ty Boy, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm loving all of the Cowboys news that's hitting us hard. Is this a better vibe off season or a worse vibe off season than last year? How are you feeling?
Oh, he's coming with the banger questions. He thought about that. Were you thinking of leading out with that banger? Or did you just think about it right now?
I have an answer.
Yeah, okay. I'm because that caught me off guard a little bit.
I do not feel good about off season so far. I felt better last off season,
and I think that's a blessing.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I've said this to you guys before, but before anything, let me get one of these in us. Crack him if you got him, son.
What's up, Dallas Cowboys, Chris?
Cowboys Chris in the hizzy.
Eric Serrato, a.k.a. Boots on the Ground.
Oh, yeah, we got a bunch of people in the hizzy. But it's funny that you asked that, AJ, and add that you said your answer is you feel worse. I felt good, actually, since the Can Fan podcast has started, and Bandwagon Bobo was here before she left, and I said to her that I feel as if a losing season is on the horizon just for the fact that Can Fan has not experienced a losing one. And that makes me positive because every time I've thought there's going to be a losing season, the Cowboys kill it. And every time I think they're going to be good, they suck. So I'm kind of glad in that situation.
Yeah, you're not asking for a losing season, though.
No, but yeah. I feel like I feel bad about it. It's like weird. I'm trying to inception myself, but I feel like it's going to be bad because
you feel good.
Because I feel good. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, you mean I was just talking about off season. I want a good season. I don't ever hope. I don't want to get my belt rungs with a shitty like 6 in fucking whatever season.
Well, that's actually, I'll bounce one question back at WayJ and then you add. It's funny that you said that because you feel bad about the off season, but you're hoping for a good season, and you had Stephen Jones saying how, well, the Super Bowl's never won in the offseason. I just want to ask you guys what you think about that quotation before we jump into any of the new stuff. Like, saying the Super Bowl's never been won in the offseason, I get it. Literally, the Super Bowl's never won in the offseason. Of course it's not. It's won in February. But what do you guys think about that quote, that the Super Bowl's not won in the offseason?
Look, Jerry and Stephen Jones have just been hitting some real home runs with their comments this offseason, and like that's super confusing. I didn't get the full context, so maybe he was referring to like maybe he was being more combative with the question that was asked, but still, it's a silly statement. Like, how often do you see teams put together? Obviously, they'd make some moves during the season as well, but they put a lot of work into building the team to go into the season with a championship team. You're not gonna go into the season and then build throughout the season and hope that you get everything together by week 8. Usually you're looking for those missing pieces before the trade deadline, right? And or injuries come up, and so you have to make some sort of move. But that was silly. That was nonsense, Steven.
Yeah, I mean,
Adam, you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed.
I know. I mean, since I'm the resident Steven Batson Jones for the Can Fan crew, when we're doing any type of moculation draft,
Moculation.
I think I agree with Ant. A massive component on a winning Super Bowl team has to be handled in off season. Can teams not do anything on the off season or the draft and then make moves during season? Absolutely, but it's a big component to any type of football team or any team in general. To make
we're
those
already
off-season
behind.
Names.
We're already behind the ball here, fellas, because last year, essentially, we forfeited the draft. I mean, I don't have a bunch of hope for the draft class of last year. But speaking of the draft and speaking of free agents, before you even get into any of that, you need to have this little thing called the NFL Combine, which had just happened last week. And I don't know how much you guys paid attention to, but there was a record broken, which was some of the hottest news. I would say it's kind of like
4.21.
Yeah, the 40-yard dash is the equivalent to the 100-meter dash in the Olympics.
Yep.
Right? Everybody's watching it. You're always seeing if someone can break it. And this year it was broken by a Texas Longhorn himself. 2024 NFL Combine results. Xavier Worthy officially breaks the 40-yard dash record. And the dude was flying. He actually, prior to that, he hit a 4.25. And then he ran it, and it was 4.22 initially. And then once they actually reviewed it and slowed it down with whatever mechanics they use, he had broken the record at 4.21, that's insane.
Sorry, I was trying to find where Wayjay was, but he's in the corner here, and
he looks like an ad.
He looks like an ad. He looks like an ad on there.
If you want to turn into Micah Parsons in an 8-week program,
let me do some rebooshing right now.
But AJ, what do you think about the Xavier Worthy 40-yard dash record that was broken?
I thought it was awesome, but here's a really interesting perspective I heard, and I think we love those types of things, the record-breaking performances. Like, it's fun, right? And I mean, 5 years ago, no one thought that you were going to get a whatever it was 4.24. Weren't going to beat that record. So it's interesting to see like these guys get faster and faster, pushing the limits of humanity. However, if you already knew, if in your draft profile of this player, you already knew he was really fast, the idea is like, don't double down on the same stat, right? Don't move him up because he ran a 4.21.
Because he ran faster.
Because you already knew he was really fast.
That makes sense.
Right.
Well, you already knew he was fast.
He's fast. And what I'm interested to see in our lifetime, there's a pretty good chance
someone's going to break.
Oh, yeah, someone's going to break 4.1. 4.19. That's on the horizon.
Are you going to play it right now? This replay is sponsored by Pack Attack with that $4.99 super chat. Appreciate it.
$4.99 super chizzy, Pack Attack. Appreciate it. I don't know if we're going to get flagged for this, so we might not even see that $4.99, but this is what we do at the Can Fan. We're going to check out this Xavier Worthy. Holds the new record, the 40-yard dash. Let's check it out.
Shot out of the cannon.
Oh! And you can hear
here's what I will say.
You can hear the crowd.
Here's what I will say. Sorry.
Say it.
Say it, I dare you.
Okay, you can definitely tell the difference between a 4.3 or a mid 4.3 and a 4, like that's a very noticeable difference.
Well, what they'll do
compared to
AJ, what they'll do is they'll sometimes the NFL has it so that they can simul run, like simul 40. So you'll have two players run it at the same time. And 4.33 is still fast. 4.39, Micah Parsons ran a 4.39. That's still quite fast. Yeah. But when you put this dude, Xavier Worthy, and a guy that runs mid 4.3s, yeah, AJ's right. He's a full couple people ahead of him, which is just crazy because it's 0.1 of a second, which is just mind-boggling. But in our lifetime, we will see a 4.19. It's going to happen, and the internet is going to go crazy.
It's going to go crazy.
Do we want to watch it one more time? Let's watch it one more time.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And I'm gonna, while we're doing that, I'm grabbing a cup and I'm gonna have a little Samsung soda.
Look at that.
Oh, fuck, that dude's fast. He's flying. He's flying on legs. He's leg flying.
He's legging.
He's legging, and then it says, okay, that's what it's called. The Sim you can. Okay. This is what I was just talking about. So we'll see who once Wayjay's back. They're talking about it. I don't know who he's racing. Oh, so this is Xavier Worthy, who's, I think they're going to have him versus John Ross here, who was the record holder before. So this is the Simul cam.
This is when you watch Brady go against Brady.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's see if it's Xavier. So this is the two fastest guys.
2017. Great job by
Got him at the start.
To get it. And the simulcam shows the official time is correct.
Wow. That's crazy. And they're splitting milliseconds there.
EJ Savage, Boys in the Zone, was giving you a heads up on like simultaneously and simultaneous run, and then he goes, Simulcam has to be the dumbest name I've ever seen.
We should just call it Anthcam.
Anthcam.
Anthcam, way easier to say. So that was the big news of the NFL Combine. But for us that have like been following the Combine, I'm just gonna ask you guys. Like we've shared a bunch of stuff personally. What's something that stuck out to you, either AJ or Ad, at the Combine that necessarily wasn't talked about? Because this is all talked about the fastest run, right? Like obviously that's the sexy talk, that's the bed, that's the pillow talk of the Combine. But there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it than just running a fast 40.
I don't like how our boy Wilson is moving up the board. He was a second round pick when we first started the mock draft. Now he's moving up to a first round pick. And to be quite honest, he is kind of fitting perfectly for the Cowboys to be able to pick him with the first round pick. I mean, we don't need to get into the tackle talk, Tyron Smith yet, but that kind of plays into like my heart now dropping because I was like, oh, great. He's still there for the Cowboys at number 24, potentially, even with him moving up and up. But I don't know that the Cowboys are going to make that smart decision to go out and get a true linebacker. So it's kind of a love and hate. Love to see him perform. Love that he is the dude who we believe that he is.
And we called that shit out. I'm not even saying we.
No. This is a team effort.
Well,
it was we.
Well, Wade brought him up. Stats J actually brought him up. He liked his size. AJ was the first person that I ever heard say Peyton Wilson in draft talk. He was. And now every content creator is talking about him. But AJ talked about him, like I'd say 2 months ago, like almost instantly after the Cowboys were knocked out.
We probably have receipts on it, too.
We have receipts that WJ was fully on board with Peyton Wilson. And it's funny how he's climbed the charts.
I think it was actually before even Super Bowl.
It was when the Cowboys got knocked out.
He's like, I'm doing an early mock.
Well, because it's the only way you could heal your pain is trying to rebuild the team in your head, right? You're like, well, how could we get better? Well, our run game absolutely sucked against Green Bay. We need linebackers. So AJ dove deep into the linebackers before Super Bowl. It was 100% before Super Bowl. And the first dude that he brought up was Peyton Wilson. And the guy's been like a projected, I'd say, third round prior to the Combine. And now he's went up a lot of mocks to a projected first round. So
and Boots
I'm going to give AJ his flowers.
Yeah, Boots wants to be like AJ when he grows up.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, I'd shit on AJ for pronunciation of names, lots. I give him gruff. I give both you guys gruff. When you guys nail something on the head, I'm going to say you did. And we'll see what the guy ends up doing. But Peyton Wilson, that's AJ's guy.
And that's why I was attracted to him, because his name was easy to say.
Peyton.
Peyton Wilson.
So one other Simulcast.
Simulcam.
Simulcast is what we're doing right now.
Simulcasting a Simulcam.
Okay, so this is the McCaffrey brothers.
Oh yeah,
racing.
This is a good
so
one
this
too.
is Luke McCaffrey versus CMC.
Who do you think's faster?
So the 40 really is for the tiebreaker. Let's see. That's one big ball of McCaffrey.
I can't tell
Luke's
difference.
Pulling away.
One has brown hair, one's blonde.
Oh boy.
Little bro.
Younger bro.
Baby bro just takes him.
I know what it's like for the baby brother to just be more athletic. Crazy, actually. Like you look at their stats, their physical attributes, the size, they're very similar. Very similar. So that's fun to watch.
WWE guy in the chat says, and he announced himself earlier on saying WWE guy is here.
What up, WT? I like it. I do like that he announced it.
But he says, LOL, Wilson is injury prone.
Yeah, he's injury prone, but so granted, okay, I think now that we're talking about Peyton Wilson, I think he basically performed himself out of being drafted by the Cowboys.
Yeah, regardless if he's injury prone, having a good showing at the Combine for teams that might not necessarily been, looking at you, those Combine stats could put you up the record. Xavier Worthy, like Alex was saying, everybody already knew he's fast. So could that have gotten him up a couple spots? I mean, possibly. I mean, it is a record setting. I saw someone was saying that run just got him an extra 10 million.
It probably did.
So some of these things will absolutely factor into it, and I do think that Alex is right that Peyton Wilson is now off the Cowboys. Well, you just said he's off the radar, but Alex was already saying he's now going to move on.
I think he maxed himself out. The Cowboys I don't know. I don't think the Cowboys are going to take, and we're going to talk about it. I don't think the Cowboys go linebacker at 24. 56 is more likely, but I wouldn't be right now if they drafted Edgerrin Cooper or Peyton Wilson in the first round. I'm not upset. I'm happy with it, actually. I'd be completely okay with it. Does it happen? It's yet to be seen. Linebacker is one of those positions that's kind of like running back. It's risky to do in the first round. So
Yeah.
Careful though.
it's spicy.
It's spicy.
So that's all anything else from the combine, because all they really had was 40-yard times.
Wayjay wants to say something.
Okay.
Oh, I feel like because of that 4-2-1, if he moves up, it's going to move all wide receivers up, right? Like if people start taking wide receivers, okay, you got to jump in and get yours before it's too late.
Oh yeah.
So
There's going to be a run. There's going to be
AJ.
There's going to be a run. This is the crazy thing. This draft is fucking deep in offensive linemen. This draft is deep in first round talents for quarterbacks. This draft is deep in wide receivers. So the Cowboys are still going to get a very good player. The best thing for teams that are drafting in the early 20s or even mid 20s is there to be a strong quarterback class with teams that need quarterbacks. Because if there's 6 teams that take quarterbacks before you, that's 6 top tier players that get pushed to you. So the Cowboys right now, I know 24 is not the greatest pick, but they're more than likely getting a starter this year. Whoever they get at 24, well, we've said this every year, has to start right away, right?
Yep.
Which we've got. So since CanFan's been around, who have been our draft picks? Who was in 2021? Micah Parsons.
Yep.
Micah Parsons, Tyler Smith, and then Mozzie Smith. Those were the 3 first-round picks since CanFan's been around. 2 of 3 are studs.
Yep.
2 of 3 are studs. Like, sure, there's been a lot of hate on Micah Parsons this offseason. The fact of the matter is the cat's still
he's still
he's a 1 percentile player in the NFL, maybe even a 0.5 percentile in the NFL.
And he's only going into his
the guy's 24 or 25.
Exactly.
Like he's a young cat. He's a young cat.
He's a young lion.
Which actually kind of it segues quite nicely into our next topic. Dallas Cowboys are placing the 5th-year option on Micah Parsons, but at what position? So did you guys hear? Did you guys read about this at all?
Yeah, I did.
Yes,
I didn't read. Sorry, go ahead, Alex. You did.
I was going to say, let us know. Tell us what's up.
Well, the Cowboys may have, and this is the thing. It's a business, right? You might call it sneaky. You might call it shitty.
Some might say they don him dirty.
I'm not even going to read it. I'm just going to tell you what I've read.
Yeah, tell us.
From different articles. The Cowboys designated Micah Parsons when they did the 5th-year option as a defensive end, not a linebacker, preventing them from paying him his 5th-year option $3 million extra dollars. And people are like, well, they did him dirty. They did this. But it's like, if you look at the snaps that Micah Parsons taken as an NFL player, the defensive end position has been a landslide compared to his off-ball or middle linebacking snaps.
Can he make more money as a defensive end?
Oh, like in his second, this is the funny thing. So like in his second contract, oh yeah.
So they could have just said to him, hey, Micah, we're going to put you as DE so we can save this amount of money this year. And then next year, we're going to sign you for the biggest defensive end contract.
Well, anyone that thinks that he's making it to his 5th-year option anyways is crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's getting paid. He's getting paid at some point before his 5th-year option, before his 5th season. Sorry. Like there's just no way that he doesn't. In my mind, there's just no way that he doesn't. It's like CD this year. CD's going to get paid this year before the season. It's the same as next year. Micah Parsons is going to be the big news of next year. We talked about it last year lots. If he hit over 13 sacks, I would have been surprised if he wasn't on a new contract this season.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It might even end up that you get the big 3 signed this offseason: Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, and CeeDee Lamb.
I was reading somewhere that with the extension, with the new cap and stuff, that they don't have to. I'm not even going to bring it up.
Bring it up. We'll talk our way through it.
Well, I was just gonna
That's
say,
how we do.
I just was seeing like with the new change, they don't have to. It actually puts them in a position where they aren't required or they don't need to do the Dak Prescott extension.
Yeah, we talked about that a bit. That's to me, that's just a negotiation tactic.
Yeah.
Sure, they could possibly still sign guys and not extend Dak, but that to me that doesn't benefit anyone. Do you want your quarterback playing on essentially like his last year of his deal? No, of course you don't.
Okay, here's my question to you guys, and I mean, we're still on Micah Parsons here, but
that's okay.
Now that we started bringing
we're free balling.
Now that we started bringing up Dak Prescott, Trey Lance, they re-signed Trey for $4.25 million,
something like that.
So what is the move for that?
You don't have you need a quarterback. You need a backup. Sorry, AJ. What you go? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's also rumors that they could potentially trade him, but the hard part is, like you just said there, that is like that's a lot of money for a team to bring on as a backup when there's other options out there, right? Like especially for Cowboys, you think Cooper Rush is half his cost. I think it was like $2 or $2.5 million, and now you've got Trey Lance for whatever, roughly $5 million as well. That's a lot of money sitting on the bench, and like it makes sense to try to move Trey Lance if Cooper Rush is hanging around. I think he's got one more year with the boys.
Yeah, this is his last.
Yeah, remember I was like dead set that he's a free agent.
Yeah.
I wonder how often I say stuff that I'm like stone-faced dead set on, and I'm just completely wrong.
But it's that confidence. That confidence will make you call it yes or no.
Well, I always admit when I'm wrong.
Yes.
Sometimes.
But there is the Vikings are interested in Trey Lance if Kirk Cousins doesn't come back.
Saw that.
So maybe they're doing solids for guys so that they have the ability to trade, or they're doing that to say, well, maybe the Cowboys do actually see something in Trey Lance. Let's take a look at this little guy here and try to go for some trade moves.
So here it says Parsons is receiving his 5th-year option at defensive end, not linebacker. Two people familiar with the decision told the Dallas Morning News, as a linebacker, Parsons would earn a little more than $24 million in 2025, the final season of his rookie contract. As a defensive end, his salary in 2025 would be $21.32 million. NFL teams can add a 5th season to the contract of any first-round pick, 3 seasons into that player's deal. And that's what I got to ask you guys. Do you think that's sneaky of the Cowboys? Because a lot of people are losing their fucking minds over this. Is that sneaky or is that smart?
That's smart, baby. And
I knew AJ would be on the smart train.
Yeah, if he would have been playing more linebacker and just hitting the line a couple times, then I'd be like, okay, you're doing our boy dirty. But he plays as a defensive end, and he's not really setting in that linebacker position. So I don't know if they're going to like change his position on paper, but I guess they will have to if they bring up the 5th year under that. It's all fuckery. But like you mentioned, at the end of the day, when he does go ahead and sign his contract, you do want to sign him long-term as a linebacker, but you've kind of pigeonholed yourself into being like, okay, well, now we're going to be signing you long as a defensive end. So if I'm Micah Parsons, I'm kind of like, I'll eat $3 million this year to make 30% more over my next contract, right?
He's going to be the highest paid defensive player of NFL history when his contract goes through. So what the fuck it's not even 3 million. It's like 2.73 or something. Like, is that even, that's nothing compared to what he's about to make. That's nothing. And he's a defensive end. Yeah.
And I think your question was like the whole adding the 5th year on to these players. Well, when you're an organization and you're a business and you're trying to make these moves, like it is in the best nature of the business to do that. And that's just how it rolls. It doesn't follow in the same rule set as like they can't legally they can't pay Brock Purdy more money. Like he has to ride out that rookie contract, right? So all these guys are, when they're on their rookie contract, not rookie contract, their rookie deal or whatever.
Yeah, their rookie contract.
Like you have to ride that out.
Yeah, you have no choice. Well, they could extend you at some point, but I think after 3rd year.
3rd year, sorry,
so Brock Purdy's in his 3rd year.
So that's where you
can't technically.
That's where it's like, okay, part of it's like, well, if you care about Micah so much and you want to show him some value, like why not extend him now? And again, it's a money thing. All these players should know that. And if time does tell, like the players who the Cowboys believe in, loyalty and keeping people around, they'll pay him big.
Well, the whole point is you build your team through a draft process. If you're going to pay a guy that's been good after 3 years, the highest contract ever, the benefit of drafting a stud is for his first 3 to 4 years, you get him at a discount.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the best thing about drafting these studs. And it's even better.
Stephen Jones might disagree with
Well, but it's the truth, right? And as far as extending Micah, besides him holding out, he really doesn't have much leverage. Like, it's just the process of it, right? It's literally just the process of it.
We have to also, like, cap's going to go up every year, probably between 20 to 30 million. So you take that into account as well, which totally changed the scenario for the Cowboys, hearing that we went up 30 million.
Oh yeah.
And I'm always in the, like, the sooner you pay a for sure dude like Parsons, the better contract you get comparatively.
Definitely.
If you're going to wait till 4th year or 5th year to sign him, yeah, it's going to go up because the market's going to go up. We saw it with Dak's last contract that he signed, and what he's saying, oh, I want to get paid this time, $60 million a year. Well, you know, it might hurt for a year, or it might look bad on paper for a year, but after 2 years or 3 years, now the market's all up there, and Dak Prescott becomes a discount. He's like the 8th or something like that highest paid player. It's like, that's pretty damn good for your starting quarterback, especially the way that Dak played, right? So same thing with Parsons here. If you sign him quicker, of course it's going to be more money than like just keeping him on that rookie deal, but it's going to pay off in the long run because you're going to be able to have him by the time his like 3rd, 4th, and 5th year on that contract rolls around, he's going to be a fucking bargain. It's going to be like a great deal for the boys. So
clearance bin. Cowboy Reg, in honor of Worthy's 40, a 421 super chat.
Oh, nice.
Crack him if you got him.
That's awesome. That's hilarious. Respect. Cowboys Reg in the hizzy. That's one of my favorite things to
Cowboys
say.
Reg.
Cowboys Reg in the hizzy. So going from Micah Parsons, we have another linebacker we want to speak of, and a guy who we were all super excited for last year, but it went unfortunately down with an injury at a game we were live at in the preseason.
No.
Cowboys linebacker DeMarvion Overshown is more hungry after missing rookie campaign. And I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Overshown because he gets a little bit overshadowed because he didn't get a you like that? He didn't get to play his rookie year, and the rookie class has kind of been slagged a little bit.
Yep.
And I just want to know how excited and what are your expectations or worries about Overshown going into his sophomore year?
Well,
after an injury, man, it's always like that. It's always like you're always concerned that they're not going to bounce back to 100%. I think that's my biggest worry is like we might have to wait 2 years to see Overshown fully developed into that NFL player. And he missed his rookie campaign, right? So, but high hopes, man. He seems like the type of attitude. He was leading the group cheer before the game at times. So I think he's got that leadership in him as well. And now it's just like, we got to see this in a real NFL game.
Man, guys, we watched him at training camp. I think he had 2 interceptions in the one practice. He was killing it the first preseason game. He had a nice tackle for loss. We were jacked up. Ad, you weren't live streaming the game with us, but Wayjay and I were. It was the first like Cowboys game of this year, right? It was the first preseason game, and me and him were both wasted.
Yeah, no, I know. I tuned in.
We were both hammered. And Overshown made like a TFL, and we both went nuts. Like he just made a 4th and goal stop in the Super Bowl.
That's what we should. That should be a clip that you grab.
I did clip
no,
it.
for this right.
Oh,
right
for this
here.
right now. But we were super stoked, and I'm excited. It kind of feels like we have a freebie as a draft pick because even like AJ said, yeah, they come off an injury, and it sometimes takes a couple years. Luckily, and I'm saying luckily because it's already happened, it was almost a year ago by the time they're at training camp again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. It's better than like when Gallup got hurt or Terrence Steele got hurt later in the season, right? So at least he's had all this time to recover, but he had such a high arc going in. it'd be surprising if there wasn't a setback back a little bit, but I'm super excited for this dude.
Yeah, I'm very excited for DeMarvion Overshown.
And now he can rock that 0.
Do you think he will?
I hope so.
I mean, technically he hasn't played a regular season game with a number, so if he was to change it, it's not like the J-Lu, not the Kierce changing number and having a decline. So I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm excited. We've talked a lot about our linebacking core, so I'm really excited to see that area get addressed in the draft and or the off season. And then just coming in with some different scheming tactics and sets for our linebacking group.
The only thing I'd be bummed out about him switching to 0 is he was 35. And anyone in Cowboys Can fan lore knows
That's Ant's number.
when I was manning the linebacker field for the Chilliwack Giants.
Yeah. The Beast was 35.
I was 35, so I kind of like that. Overshown was 35, but 0 he'd be the first Dallas Cowboy to wear 0. He wore 0 at Texas. So
I mean, I
it'd
would
be cool.
I would get an Overshown 0.
Agent 0 is what they call
Agent
them.
Orange.
Agent, yeah, no, Agent Orange. So next up, we're gonna go a little bit away from the combine or any linebacking talk, and I'm gonna play a little clip about Dak Prescott, and it went a little bit viral because you had heard Micah Parsons, and they don't really say who Dak Prescott's talking about here, but it alluded to a conversation that Micah Parsons had earlier in the off season. So I'm just gonna play this clip and see what you guys at the end of the day think about it.
Shout out to Dallas Cowboys YouTube channel.
Yeah, the coach is high, honestly, and the culture is great from my standpoint. And I say that in the sense is I actually don't know what all talk's been said, so I don't want to go into I don't know, good, bad, or whatever. I've heard some, but I can't. You guys know of anybody. I'm not the one listening, and I'm trying not to. So, but my point is, yeah, that's something I've always bragged on and took pride in. So if there's questions of that, concerns on that.
Can I pause quickly here?
Yeah.
I feel attacked.
We're getting an oversight, and he actually said the most important thing of the fucking video, and I fucked it up by pausing. What do we think about Dak Prescott's new look?
I was gonna make a comment, but I was trying to respect.
We didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about
We
it.
didn't bring it up. Yeah, I mean the memes are funny. I mean now for all of Cowboys history, that meme where they send you the Dallas Cowboys fan starter pack, and it's like jean shorts, blue navy Nike Air Jordans, and then it was like a Spanish guy. Now they put Dak in place of that meme
With the goatee.
Yeah.
I think Dak. I mean, he looks like the person who you'd bring over for your kid's birthday party, who's playing Stone Cold, who's like supposed to cosplay as Stone Cold.
But he didn't know if he had to be the Stone Cold or the Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he keeps it open. He's like, sometimes I get hired to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson from the Fast and Furious franchise. So I got to keep it.
But I'll go
real.
back because this is where they're talking about the culture. They're talking about the culture at the Cowboys. Dak was saying that he never thought it was a bad thing. And I kind of started talking about the way he looked at a very important spot. So I'm going to play it.
Before you hit play though, does he sound like he had maybe took a helium balloon or something? Like his voice is a little high pitched.
Sounds like he has a little dose of Anth in him.
I'm sure some that. Yeah, that's something I've always bragged on and took pride in. So if there's questions of that, concerns on that, I feel attacked. I'm sure some guys in the locker room do. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and the way that this business plays out, people don't get exactly what they wanted. There's always sourness, I guess you can say, somewhere. And so, yeah, I don't want to make anything bigger than what already comments have had.
What Jerry says all in, what does that mean?
So it's interesting to hear that because the only person that's talked about culture on a big platform was Micah Parsons. And then Dak saying he feels attacked by it a little bit. So it's just like, you never really want to see that. I just thought it was.
Do you think he's saying he feels attacked by that, or just by everybody coming at him and the team about that?
I just didn't want to get Stone Cold stunned.
Gus in the chat says Dak turned into Heisenberg, aka Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Read Leonardo Navarro's.
Oh, Leonardo Dak looks like Sinbad.
I gotta
whoever
find
they-
that.
Whoever you say, I see it.
Okay, Ant's gonna find it.
Dak definitely looks like the character when they reboot and redo, like, you know how they redid Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but just called it Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Well, when they redo Breaking Bad, they're gonna bring in like a new guy to play Walter White, but they'll have like a different, he's gonna be just a different guy. So that's that new character.
Anth has a Sinbad one that he's bringing up.
Okay. Sinbad, is he dead or still alive?
There you go.
That's Sinbad post stroke.
Yeah, and that's Sinbad like in 2022. I couldn't find a young Sinbad.
Give me a young Sinbad.
I couldn't. This was the hair was too similar in this one that I had to go with it.
Right.
I had to go with it. That's good though. Great talks in chat. That's some great comparisons, to be honest.
TBH.
Oh yeah.
So you guys aren't worried about it though? Like you have Micah Parsons he was kind of calling out, saying the culture, I want to change the culture. Guys were just kind of doing this and that. Like there was interviews of Micah saying that. And now you have Dak being asked about it and he says, well, I feel a little bit called out by guys that are questioning the culture. You don't have an issue with that, or you don't find a problem with that?
I mean, all of the Cowboys stuff that's been going on this offseason, from the relatives and family members tweeting and all the Micah stuff going on, it has been, as Dalton Schultz says, somewhat of a zoo over there in the last few weeks. How can we, like, even if we are worried about it, like, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think something's going to break down? Micah and Dak, like, Micah said a lot of really good things about Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah,
a lot of really good things. He's come to help him out. So I take it as Dak's just talking about in general, with so many people talking about the culture of the team, like he's feeling a bit attacked.
Micah speaks very raw. He speaks very, like, I think that sometimes what he says, he doesn't say in the best way. And we've seen that a couple times in this offseason, especially now that he's like podcasting and stuff. So also, these are the two captains, quote unquote, of either side of the ball. So Micah Parsons talking about wanting to change the culture. Is he just talking about the defensive side?
Yeah.
And then Dak, right?
Well, I took Micah talking about the change in the culture more towards D-Law saying that we were tired, like, or not, like that's where because it was around the same time, I believe, that Micah was saying those things. So, or just the amount of like shit that's going on off season, or how people are focused. Like, we don't know what goes on in the locker room. And I think Dak, as the leader of the team.
Are you saying we should try to sneak cameras in there?
Yeah. I think Dak, as like the quarterback of the team, he's coming into his 8th year. He's probably, he's going to take it personal that, well, what you're saying, like, the culture hasn't been good until you've gotten here, or it hasn't been good up until you're about to change it. So I'm not too worried about it, honestly.
Well, here, I got a little clip here, and it's Micah and CeeDee's final words to their teammates in Cowboys Nation. I don't know if it's even to do with the culture, but I feel like it's going to be positive. So let's check it out.
What do you feel as if, not even that the people want to hear, what do you feel that we need to do as a team, as a unit, and us as the upcoming leaders? Granted, we are the leaders, but understanding this role that we in, that you feel like we got to do to go. You say we got to get over this hump.
For me, we need to establish our culture. We need to identify our captains early in the season. We need to paint a better picture of who we want to be, fix our mistakes. People need to have way more accountability. I just think we let things slide too often because we know we're good. And
Absolutely.
So that's all about me, bro. I want to change the culture. I want to change the identity of what the Cowboys are. Cut the charades out. Cut the extra stuff out. I just want people to lock in for 22 or whatever.
22 weeks, bro. 22.
He may as well said fuck Dak in his ass. He may as well said fuck Dak in his ass. Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got. Look, I hear that more of, like I said, Micah speaking about the defense. He has nothing to do with the offense, and I don't think that he was really commenting about that, because CeeDee asked Micah, It wasn't like Micah brought this up and was talking
True.
about it and threw it at CD. And I just take it as I like it. I like what I'm hearing because I don't think you ever want to go into a season being like, look, we are pretty perfect. There's nothing really I want to change. I just want to settle in. I mean, look, that's great to hear. But I like when people are like, even after a Super Bowl victory, being like, this is what we can do to improve, right? And that's the dog mentality. So I don't eat too much about it. I mean, I don't want it to start to create turmoil between the two sides. But sometimes, and if you played football, I haven't, and football is a true defense offensive. But there is the same in a lot of sports. I played hockey, soccer, and lacrosse. And you do get like offensive, defensive type of, like there's guys who just play offense. You're like, just let them play offense. That's what they do. They're not very good on defense. And then the defenders have to kind of like figure out how to deal with that when that guy's on the field. So I think it's just a conflict of which side of the ball you're on. And I'm hearing it more of Dak Prescott, of Micah Parsons saying, I want to come in and be a leader from the get-go and change culture. I'm fine with that.
Same.
That's like
that's what you said, Ad, too, and AJ's kind of going with it. I don't feel like he was calling out Dak at all.
No.
So maybe Dak didn't even, and Dak said that he hadn't heard.
Yeah.
So okay, so say you have a defensive player like Micah Parsons talking about culture, and then Dak Prescott gets asked, well, there's a guy saying that he wants to change the culture without having any context to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's actually, now that I've heard this side of it and the way that Dak responded to it, like Micah doesn't sound like he's not going at, again, like Ad said, maybe if anybody, D-Law.
Well, because that's my question. And then this is a great question. Who are the captains last year on the Dallas Cowboys? Zach Martin?
Yeah.
Dak Prescott?
You got to think defense, though. So defense was D-Law?
D-Law?
I think there was only the one.
Big Time Hank?
Big Time Hank.
Diggs was.
And
Diggs
Diggs,
was,
right, but he was out. Do you guys want to hear the rest of this?
Yeah, boosh it.
Yeah.
I'm going to boosh it.
2 weeks. I know it's long,
I would say,
but it's so fun when you win it. I'm telling you that now.
7 months could change your life.
7 months, bro. And
And I'm ready.
we got to lock in. Let's do it. Cowboy Nation. I love
You
y'all.
don't sound ready, Dak.
Ever
You don't sound.
question
Keep going, Dak. Micah.
my loyalty to y'all. I apologize for the discrepancy earlier. You know what I'm saying? What my mom said.
I
had no
needed that.
control. I
Oh,
was
there
wrong.
it is.
You know what's crazy, though? I was actually asleep. When I was asleep and I woke up and found that out. Like, I'm waking up to crazy.
I could listen to CD talk all day.
Okay, listen to
CDs,
this.
I love CD.
Listen to this.
I fucking love CD, dude.
Dallas will continue to have game captains this season. So
Each
each
week.
game or each week there's a different captain.
Interesting. But
I don't love that. I don't love that.
Well, I think that's more of, I don't think that's every captain. I think that's game captain, they pick someone. Like they'll pick a special teams guy or something. But you still have your mainstays.
Tony,
Right.
like, so for instance,
See, so they're showing Tony Pollard was an offensive captain
for that game.
No, just Google Cowboys 2023
I did.
team captains, and let's see what comes up.
Nude.
Nude, in the buff.
Put nude in there.
Yeah, you got to get it in the buff. So you got Eastside Herald 2.0. Dallas is a shit show, man. You guys just paid Dalton Schultz, who we're gonna get into it. What, 32 million or 36 million over 3 years? Come on.
He doesn't even know how to spell Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, Eastside Herald, more like Eastside bitch. Do they have it up
Eastside
there?
Herald.
Yeah, there's not.
We keep blocking you. You keep showing up.
He shows up. That's how he does it. I give
okay.
him props. Yeah, there's
but
Arizona
does
Cardinals.
this-
Keep going down. Now you just got to
While-
find the
while you're
Dallas
looking for
Cowboys.
this,
Yep.
This is just
does
for
thi-
week one.
Does Schultz's recent comments add fuel to the fire?
Well, we're gonna get into Schultz's comments. You bet your little bottom dollar we are. But before we get into
You bet your bottom dollar.
Before we get into Schultz's comments, because you know we got him, I just wanted to bring up some more Cowboys news. Actually, you guys talk a little bit. I gotta take a leak. This is how professional I am.
Ant comes in here, he starts booshing it around.
I gotta pee, man.
Starts,
I have to pee. I can't
Ant,
focus.
Just use my piss jar on the
Yeah,
side of the.
yeah. So what I wanted to talk to you about, we gotta wait till Ant gets back. Well, Schultz's comments. We have TP20 that we're about to talk about here in a second. I guess why don't you just turn around and ask Micah what he actually meant by his comments there, Alex? Oh,
Hey, yo, Micah. Oh, he's getting his sweat on me. Salty. Yeah. I just want to comment on Schultz's here because I think it's kind of relevant in what we're discussing.
Yep.
Like we're talking about the culture. Schultz comes out and says this. It's kind of compounding all these like comments throughout the season. Also, like, do you include Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones not really seeming to be on the same page, at least with their answers about Jerry's all-in comment? We haven't really, I guess there hasn't been a chance to see if they're going to make any moves, but the consensus seems like that all-in comment might have just been, hot air. But with Schultz coming out and saying that the star is going to be heavily influenced by, the Dallas Cowboys are heavily influenced by the brand, is that just like your ex-girlfriend talking shit after she leaves, and now he's got a big contract, so he's like walking around with a big heart on? Or I don't know. I have this love-hate with Schultz, and I'm happy he got his bag.
I got a hate-hate relationship.
But he blocked us when we had he blocked us when we had 4,000 subs.
Yeah, so anyone that blocks like a content creator that has 4,000 subs, it's like you're really looking at this. But the conversation kind of went to this. So you got Schultz, who he got his bag, right? Respect. It's different. The focus is just football. This was posted by Deffy Talks Football, fan of the cast, fan of the show, been on multiple times. Love that guy. But he's got a couple clips here.
Time in Dallas, whenever you're talking about all the off the field, is that real?
That was one of the first things that kind of stuck out to me. Is like, it feels like much more, I don't want to say college because it's not, but like the focus is just football, you know what I mean? And going back and like telling some people like how kind of being around the Cowboys, like practice facility and, game day, describing some of the interactions and stuff that you see on a day-to-day basis, like surprised a lot of people. They're like, holy crap, like that actually happens like at a practice facility. And like, it's just, you think it's normal. And then you come to a place like this.
Like what? You don't have to out anything, but like, what are you?
No, dude, it's just like there's people literally going on tours while you're lifting in the weight room. And they've got like a one-way mirror for people to like look at. Like, it's literally, it's a zoo, dude.
Is it vastly different than your time in
people tapping on the glass, like trying to get people's attention as they're doing, power cleans or whatnot. And it's different. And I mean, that's the brand that they've built. That's what Jerry Jones likes. That's the way that they run things. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you don't realize like how many, eyeballs and how much that can maybe, distract from, stuff just in the locker room, being in the facility.
Schultz, the only reason that you're making your $36 million 3 years
because you played in the zoo.
Because you played in the zoo, man. You are essentially Godzilla, or sorry, not Godzilla. What's the other one?
King Kong.
King Kong. You got witnessed, and then you got picked up, right? I guaranteed Schultz on any other team that put up the stats he did wouldn't then have alluded to his. I mean, the guy's rich for the rest of his life, for the rest of his family's life. I don't know. I don't believe in talking shit about a team he went from. And this isn't the first Cowboys player that's went to a different team and then has talked shit about the Dallas Cowboys. In recent memory, like Cole Beasley did it, just off the top of my head. That's the only guy I can really think of right now. But it's like, just seems, not to mention, how many times did the dude say like in that?
I know.
Like, zoo.
What a valley girl.
It's a good headline to get people to click. He's trying to bring light to the situation. And here's what I took from it. The Cowboys could technically be a team that some players couldn't handle being on because of everything that's surrounding the most profitable franchise in sports ever, right? Like in the number one sports franchise out there. So yeah, you get these young players who sign a rookie deal and maybe they don't make it because of the circus of trying to make a profit as a business, having cameras in your face all the time. It's this ultra level. And then you go to the Texans, who no one gave a shit about until this year because of CJ Stroud. And it's like, well, yeah, no one's around. Well, you better believe that it's going to be a little bit different next year because
I'm receipt keeping
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
son. I'm receipt keeping already.
for Schultz.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Eastside Harold, you little bitch.
I got two thoughts on this. First thought, we've all been to the gym just to kind of drink water, walk around, make ourselves look like we're doing something, and then leave, right? But you know, if you're in the gym, yeah, there's other people there. So I can understand going to your work gym. I don't understand the big deal about people coming by and watching you lift. Like, maybe like Adam mentioned, for some players that's a distraction.
Weird. It was a weird example.
Well, he's just
a weird example. And
that he
number
used.
two, go ahead, Ad, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I mean, look, he's now having he even said, I thought it was normal. He's like, there's nothing wrong with it. That's how they're doing it. But he's explaining the difference between being on the Cowboys team and then going to another team and explaining it to players who also, like him, thought it's just normal. So he's probably talking to the rest of the Clone Zone guys, being like, no, guys, it's not like, guys, the grass is different on the other side.
But like AJ said, who gives a fuck if someone's in there watching?
Yeah.
I mean, you play football in front of 80,000 people on Sundays. Like, who gives a shit if there's a tour going through the workout facility and they're watching you clean press or doing squats or
Power
doing
cleans.
Yeah, who gives a shit? You
Listen,
have 80,000 people watching you on Sundays.
Yeah, so Schultze wants no one to scream when he's trying to make a catch.
You stream video games, dude.
And we could say
that's another great point. Is like, well, if you care that much, then like, what are you doing going out there, putting yourself online and like playing video games? I have no problem with this shit. This is just comments on what he said. The other thing, though, too, you got to take into context. When we go to Dallas Cowboys games, we've been to, a handful, and we're going to be going to 100 more. When we arrive, we always go the day before, typically to the shop at the arena. If you remember, there's always like a 50-50 split of other teams coming there too, like whoever we're playing, those fans are at the arena too. So it's like, it's not just like the Dallas Cowboys are probably a little different. I don't know how many people go to the Houston Texans arena on an off day who are not fans of the Houston Texans just to have a look at what's going on. Like,
no one.
Yeah. So like there is a difference. Like the pinnacle of sports is the Dallas Cowboys in their marketing, in how they treat fans and how they showcase the team, allowing people to come in. I can understand that could be a distraction, but at this point, you got to find ways to deal with that because Adam said, you're playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
It's like Arch Manning or Archie,
Arch Manning Jr.
Yeah, Arch Manning Jr. He's saying, no, I'm not going to partake in the NCAA video game this summer. Like I want to just focus on football. And someone's like, dude, you don't need to do anything in the game. They're just going to use your likeness. They're only just going to use your likeness. Like,
you don't actually have to run drills.
You don't have to run drills or anything like that.
The thing with Schultz,
maybe Arch Manning might be like, look, if I'm in the game, I have to play my dynasty.
I have to.
So now I have to stream.
I have to get in that mocap suit. I have to do all my dialogue. I just can't handle that.
I can't be just a generated player. But the funny thing with Schultz saying this, and we touched base on the video game thing. At the end of the day, NFL players are trying to be their own brand, right? Well, what's the best way to your own brand? Being part of the most popular brand in football.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to get more eyes on you than anywhere else. If Schultz would have been drafted by the Houston Texans and decided to start streaming Fortnite, do you think anybody gives a shit about it?
Yeah,
probably not.
My only comment about outside of Gus,
defend Schultz.
We'll give Gus a big shout out here in a second. When he goes, it's different. It's the focus is just football, and that's the slimy comment where it's like, calling it a zoo. Yeah, everyone knows that
the
Cowboys is going to be a zoo and is going to be a circus. Oh yeah, baby! But when you're saying, okay, well, yeah, no, this is where I have a problem with it because I don't want it to be that. I do want that focus. we comment on Micah having his podcast, and it's like, shut up and just play football. And then yet we're going to go at Schulte when he actually calls it out. And I think Schulte is probably jumping on top of it from, if Schulte's going to block a small creator channel like ours when we at that time only had 4,000 subs for saying something to him, he's still looking at any type of news. He probably has Cowboy stuff on his RSS feed so that when anything comes up, he has something to say about it. But
Definitely.
Positive note, our boy Gus GR7 says, "What's up, Boots? What's up, Kilo and Can Fan Bros? Been quiet on social media. Missed some Can Fan episodes. My newborn son been taking my attention, but he's learning the Cowboys are America's team."
Hell yeah, and that's that exactly.
Oh,
congrats,
Gus. We appreciate you, and we hope that you named your son one of us, either Adam or Alex or Ann, or combine it all together.
He called him Vape J,
or even just one of us. One of us, GR7 Network. Yeah. I would be okay with that too.
I like his next comment here though. It is GR7 Network. Gus, our boy, says it is a zoo, and we have a lion named Micah Parsons. You know,
I was about to do a wolf howl, and then I was like, that's not right. Okay, so jumping back to Schulte, get the fuck out of here. I'm getting off of your face, bruh. So back to Cowboys stuff. Cowboys forego the franchise tag in 2024 free agency, guys. What are your thoughts on that? Was it a smart move by the Dallas Cowboys to not officially franchise tag anyone?
Honestly, I would have franchised Biadasz. I don't know what that cap is, and maybe that doesn't make sense, but it's not that I think Biadasz is like
21 million.
Okay.
21 million for big Biadasz. I'm telling you right there, AJ, that highlight is the number one reason.
Zoom it in.
The number one reason they did not go for Tyler Biadasz is right there in blue highlight.
Look at the 12 million on the running back too. Once we zoom back out,
that's crazy. It's so crazy.
That's why they just forego it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. But that devaluation, a running back's worth less than a tight end. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's crazy. It's wild. It's bonkers.
Like there's how many tight ends are more important than a running back on a team? Kelsey, Dalton Schultz.
Schulte, baby. Well, Schulte didn't even get that 12.7, son.
But like no, you're right. It's just it's mind-boggling, and it almost makes me say like, shit, fucking franchise TP20. It's a lot of money, but
so that's the thing. So with TP20, and it says this, are 12 million. No, this is a first tag amount, not second. So if they did tag him because they've tagged him before,
you can't.
It would probably be about 15 million for Tony Pollard. But just looking at this, and we'll go back up here real quick, guys. So you've seen the amounts that it would have cost to franchise tag, and you can think of players. So AJ said Tyler Biadasz, and then we showed him how much it was going to be, and that kind of went out the window, right? But we'll look up quickly just for some of the free agents. So here's your free agent list here. So if you see any of these players, for me, the only guy I see that might be worth it, but I still wouldn't do, and it makes sense why they didn't do, again, Tyron Smith. I'm not paying Tyron Smith $21 million.
No.
You can't. No. And that's guaranteed. So if you franchise tag Tyron Smith.
And we ain't getting all games from Tyron Smith.
No, hell no, you're not. So
we're gonna get more screen time out of him on the sidelines.
So let's just I'm just in full gear.
Full gear.
So let's go down this list here quickly, guys, and just say yes or no if it's a guy.
Boosh it in a little bit.
Boosh it in a bit. Okay, so let's start off with defensive back. That's how it's. I don't think there was anyone else above. Let's check it out. Okay, that's defensive back. Okay, Stephon Gilmore. You stop me if there's a guy that you like. Stephon Gilmore.
I like him. I like him.
Okay, so
I'm gonna stop you just right there.
Okay, keep it in the back pocket, and then we'll see if he's worth that, or if the Cowboys could get him back for cheaper than that. So you got CB. So CB so far: Jordan Lewis, Jaron Kearse, CJ Goodwin, Noah Igabababoon. I'm terrible at it.
Terrible.
Offensive line: Tyron Smith, Chuma Edoga, Tyler Biadasz. Tight end, part of the clone zone, Sean McKeon. Double dose of running back, Tony Pollard and Rico Dowdle. Then you got some studs here. Defensive line, Dorrance Armstrong, Any noise? Are we
Uh,
no noising it? No,
No.
noise. Okay, so moving on to Dante Fowler Jr. Big Hank.
Hank, I would be in consideration with. I just got to say, I got to go back to the list to see how much.
Okay,
we're
so
spending for him.
defensive tackle and CB so far.
Yeah.
Neville Gallimore. Specialist, Trent Sieg, so our long snapper, which he ain't doing. So
Yeah, I love him. I love him. I love the videos he puts out. I love his work.
So 19 million is for Gilly, and 21 for
22. You ain't paying Tank or
fuck
Hank.
No.
22,
Big
and
Hank.
you ain't paying
We're not paying Gilly that.
Gilly.
amount
You're
either.
not paying Gilly that amount either. So
No.
this is the reason when you actually look at our free agents and you look at the guys or the cost that they would count, it made sense what the Cowboys did. For once, it made sense what their front office did here.
I hope that after the offseason, we're gonna say, man, the Cowboys were the smartest. Crack him if you got him. Gus says, sorry fellas, I named him Tiago, but before he drinks his bottle, I say crack him if you got him.
That's all that matters. Tiago, that's a great name.
Oh, Tiago. That's awesome. That's a strong name. That's a warrior name.
Yeah.
Tiago Alves. There's one.
Yeah. Hey,
Did you just
Gus? We're gonna start training at 3 months. We're gonna fly you up to Chilliwack. We're gonna have him
BJJ,
run through some drills.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing,
everything?
karate, any of that stuff.
And shotgunning.
And shotgun.
And shotgunning. It's actually BBJ. It's baby Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
BBJ.
I like that. That's hilarious.
He says, at least I didn't name him Dalton Shits.
That's good. That's true. I'm glad you didn't. He would have been made fun of his whole life. Report, Tony.
Here's one thing I just. Oh,
no, you got it.
I just wanted to say, these off-season moves, we're going to have our knee-jerk reaction, and that's what people want, and that's what you're going to get because we are emotional fans. We are destined for that 6th Super Bowl, and every year is our year. However, the Cowboys front office, as much as they seem to not make sense, they often, more than not, I believe, in the history that we've been doing this podcast at least, they do make decisions that turn out to be correct. Whether or not it's the best, like they might miss on shit, but the things that they decide to do tend to be, okay, that makes sense after 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. But it's a hard pill to swallow, I will admit.
But realistically, from the front office so far, and it's going to change, obviously, free agency, which we're going to be going into free agency a fuck ton on next Wednesday. That's hits Monday. Monday free agency starts, right? So it's really going to take shape of what the Cowboys are expecting to do in the draft by what they do in the first wave of free agency. And speaking of free agency, one of our free agents, Tony Pollard, open to return to Cowboys on a hometown discount. I personally love
Bring him back.
I personally love when you have a player say that they'll do that. You figure it out, man. I'll take TP20 at 8 mil. I'll take TP20 at 7 mil. I honestly will. So for him to say that,
what wouldn't you take him as?
12.
So he goes to the market and he has like 3 or 4 offers where people are willing to pay him 12 million.
No, you can't. You can't take him.
You say bye-bye?
You have to. That's too much. That's too much. If you didn't franchise tag him, and I'm just trying to go down, and this is so they're just showing his stats, but I'm trying to look. So the Cowboys currently have only Deuce Vaughn and Malik Davis under contract for 2024. Pollard played on the franchise tag last season, will become a free agent next week. Calvin Watkins of the Dallas Morning News reports Pollard will test free agency, but is open to returning even if the contract from another team is slightly higher than the Cowboys offer.
So someone offers him 12, he takes 11
4.
or 10. Yeah.
No, 11 and 10's too high. No one's offering Tony Pollard 12 million. I just don't think they're going to offer him.
I offer TP 2 years, 16 million with some nice incentives if we make it to the playoffs. If he
hits 1,500 yards.
Right. Like you can get a couple $1 million bonuses added onto that contract. And I wonder if that's enough to swindle, because you got to take into account these guys are like, being a professional sports player, I'm not going to have any sympathy for them. But Adam, you're a family man, 2 children, two strong young boys, well, adolescent boys, a wife, and now you got to pick up and move to the other side of the country. Like,
Very tough.
There's a lot more that comes into that decision making, especially maybe not so much when you're younger, 20, 24, whatever, but now that you're starting to kind of build a family. I don't know what Tony Pollard's home life is like. I should actually creep into that a little bit more.
Yeah, you should.
His family owns a great barbecue place in Memphis. That's what I know about Tony Pollard.
Sweet.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, if you've got some roots in a location, it might be like, look, I'll take 8 million over 10 million or 12 million because I can live very comfortably with 8 million. 12 million, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to make a lot of decisions. I can buy a couple more yachts or buy another house, but there's that emotional stress of like, okay, family, we're up and moving. Kids, you're leaving school now and going to another place. I have to make new friends. I'm leaving all my friends, my teammates. Like, there is that comfort.
Humans are creatures of habit, right? And creatures of comfort, right? So AJ, you nailed it with that. Of course, you're gonna, if you could take a job offer instead and be pretty much in the same ballpark instead of completely changing your life, and then you don't know how you're gonna get used, and then so say the Cowboys can then give them an incentive with X amount at 1,000 yards, X amount at 1,500 yards, X amount at say 8 touchdowns, and X amount at 12 touchdowns. That's just gonna add more fuel to your fire to get to those numbers.
Yeah, and if we look at TP20, he came off of an injury, a bad injury. Gus is saying TP20 will have a full year recovered from that bad injury. But not only that, when you get coming off of a bad injury and then all of a sudden you're now the responsible number 1 running back, and he again didn't have bad all-purpose yards last season.
Do you want me to throw you at his stats right now?
What was it? 1,300
1,300.
1,300.
1,316, 316, baby.
1,3,
yards.
1,316. So he had
4 yards per carry,
like
55 receptions, but only 19 broken tackles.
Yeah, he didn't
off an injury.
Didn't feel as electric as he did the year previous. To the eyeball test.
Any year that since CanFan's been around.
Coming off that injury though, and being the number 1 back can definitely. Those are 2 strong mental things that could affect you. Now, obviously, as a professional athlete and a running back, you're always competing, but they kind of felt in this rhythm with Zeke and him, where it's like neither of us are competing to be number 1. We're just co-backs, and they had a good system that way. So to go from being a co-back to being
Thunder Lightning, baby,
Thunder Lightning to now being like Thunder, or Lightning.
They should have been softening up defenses with Rico.
Totally. Like, I mean, again, there's a lot of other things that could play into that. So, as much as I saw that, I'm like, oh no, I kind of just want something to change.
That's fine. Keep Tony Pollard and bring in Derrick Henry, bring in AJ Dillon, bring in Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Them keeping Tony Pollard doesn't exclude the Cowboys from bringing in someone else.
Totally.
Like, just because people see this and they're like, oh, Tony Pollard might stay in Dallas, that doesn't stop the Cowboys from drafting or draft a Braylon Allen or draft a Trey Benson
or draft Blake Corum,
No. If you're keeping Tony Pollard
bench more than that 325 guy,
you're gonna bring in a 5'8" guy to be the Thunder to Tony Pollard's Thunder.
I know. No, I was just gonna say because he benched more than a guy who was like 350. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
because Blake Corum's 5'8", his arms are this big.
Yeah, he's Wolverine. Actually, Wolverine's 5'3", but
the other consideration for him is like, okay, you're coming off a team who's had 3 12-win seasons in a row, okay? Do you want to go to like a team that's going to be rebuilding to be the starting running back? And CeeDee Lamb mentioned it, like when you're winning, football's fun. To 22 weeks from beginning to end. But do you want to go to another team where like you're going to be losing, you're going to have 4 wins? I always hated, and I was very lucky when I played sports that we were pretty much always a good team, lacrosse specifically. Like we always did very well, that it was fun. We were always in the running. But could you imagine you get to week 8 and you're already like at a 10%
Oh yeah, you hate
probability
it.
of
You're,
making
it's like
the playoffs. Like
we're done. Playoffs.
Playoffs. Yeah.
playoffs.
You didn't play with Anth and I
So I
in our senior men's league.
Oh yeah, where we sucked.
And it was
Oh.
exactly that. It was
it was
like
awful.
Yeah.
we won
It
one
makes
game.
you want, and it makes you go like, okay,
We just
I'm gonna
cracked a lot of them.
I think I'm hanging up the cleats after
Yeah.
this, right? And I'm not saying that like Tony Pollard is anywhere near the end of his career, but if he's going to sign a 3 or 4 year contract, like how long do you want to stay with a team when you know the team who you've played for is set up for having a really good season? Obviously, let's not bring in the conversation about the playoffs. Because that's something that we got to work on. But like, I think there's like a lot of incentive for Tony Pollard to say it's worth the juice is worth the squeeze, and it's worth taking a little bit of a lesser deal. Still going to be a millionaire. It all depends on the length.
I mean, he got paid $12 million last year. He fucking snagged it. He's playing on free money. But guys, what we're gonna do now?
Go to the bathroom.
Ad's gonna go to the bathroom. AJ, I'm gonna explain what we're gonna do. We're going to do a nice little 7-round mock draft. And because we know these mock drafts can take a bit of time, I'm going to throw in my own little wrinkle here. We have 1 minute on the clock. 1 minute on the clock. If we do not pick somebody within that 1 minute, it goes to the top guy on the board. That's it.
Okay.
So we have to pick quick.
Speed.
It's about speed. And this is what we'll do: 1.5 minutes. A minute's not that much time. We'll do 1.5 minutes for each pick.
Can I throw in just a potential option?
Yep.
First round, second round, and third round, 3 minutes.
Okay.
That gives us each a minute a combo, and then after that, because we don't get a fourth round.
Yeah, we'll pause that. I'll just trade it away.
Minute.
Okay, I like that. Top 3 picks. So 24, 56, and I believe, what is it? 87. 24, 56, and 87. We'll do 3 minutes. I'll trade away the 4th round pick because the Cowboys don't have it, and then everything after that's 1.5 minutes. Booshin?
This is what I think. I boost that. The only asterisk is for our fourth round. I don't know who that is supposed to be with. If we can trade to that team, that makes the most sense. If not,
San Fran.
Just draft the. Okay.
I'll trade it to San Fran.
Can we trade with them?
I'll just give it to San Fran.
Because then give it to them for like a 7th round next year. Like that,
because
right?
we traded for Trey Lance, right? So it was San Fran. Okay, Ad.
And I think that won't screw up
I heard
the draft, because if we trade it to someone else, then they're gonna draft a player and it's gonna screw up the draft. I know it's only one player, but look, I want that.
He wants it realistic.
This is a real thing that we're doing. Yeah.
3 minutes for the first 3 picks, starting in 5, 4, and we're doing 7 rounds and we're doing fast. 3, 2, 1, draft in. Start draft.
Now.
Okay, here we go. The Cowboys are on the clock. So I'm going to zoom in a bit here, but I'll read off some names. We have Amarius Mims, tackle from Georgia. Graham Barton, tackle from Duke. Tyler Newman, safety from Minnesota. Wide receiver from LSU. Brian Thomas. Quarterback J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. Tyler Guyton from the tackle from Oklahoma. And then the wide receiver Lad McConkey from Georgia. What are we thinking?
Our boy EJ Savage says Amarius Mims, no questions.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think, though?
EJ, click on Amarius Mims, and while you're doing that, like, he is not I don't believe that this guy is the guy that the Cowboys need for a tackle, because I want, if you go to his stats and just his position,
6'7", 340.
Scroll down to his snaps by assignment.
Snaps by assignment.
He's a right tackle.
He's a right tackle. I don't like it. We did discuss. And you know what? J-Tuck actually discussed this with us. And for me, I'm gonna say I'm out on Mims just because of that. We need a left tackle. If we're gonna draft an offensive lineman, it's a left tackle, left guard, or a center. This guy has only played right tackle. So I'm out on him.
And I'm in this draft. I'm in the mindset that Tyler Smith is going to be kicked over to left tackle, so we have time for a guard.
Hey, we have time. We could trade with the Bills. We got a minute 23 here. We could trade back 4 spots here. I don't like anyone that I've seen here.
I'm not.
AJ, what do you think? We got a minute 14.
If we're gonna pick someone, I would take the wide receiver.
You're thinking
Thomas
Ellis
Jr.
from LSU.
But I like what you're doing here.
Look at this. We can clean these guys out. We'll be here till.
I mean,
we'll be.
Let's do a realistic. Let's do a realistic. I'm down with the trade, dude. That's not a bad idea.
I don't mind the trade, but I feel like we can grease them too much for more picks than would actually happen. We got 45 seconds to pick. I don't like Mims.
Mine is.
I just want to see Barton real quick here, AJ. But I don't mind the LSU guy either, to be honest. This is a left tackle right here. We do have a left tackle.
EJ Savage says he told reporters during podium he practices 60-40 between the two positions, right tackle and left tackle.
So Sweetie practiced, but he never played. So, I mean...
EJ says trade back and get Barton, which he can play all 5 positions.
Oh, we don't have time to trade back now.
So then take Barton.
I honestly, so AJ's going with, we got 15 seconds and we're about to get Mims.
Brian Thomas Jr.
I say Brian Thomas Jr.
That's who I want to.
Okay, draft him.
Two verse.
Draft him.
9 seconds left. Welcome
Draft
to the
him.
team.
Welcome to the team.
Anyone that thinks that wide receiver isn't a need, we're going to get grilled for this, guaranteed. But let's talk about our pick real quick and why we did it.
This isn't on the clock right now,
No,
right?
we're not on the clock right now. The reason I went wide receiver, I'm telling you, if Fatano was there, if Troy Fatano's there, I'm taking him. I like Troy Fatano. That's probably the only guy other than the top-notch guys falling to us at tackle, or even if Powers, Jackson Powers, the center, if he's there, I'm probably taking him. I'm not taking a position just to take a position in this situation. And in this exercise, we're saying Tyler Smith is getting moved to left tackle. We'll just say that, okay? Just to make our process make more sense, right?
And I think that's the smartest move, right? You drafted him as a tackle. Sure, he played significantly well, a top-tier guard, but why? I think a tackle is a much more important position to have someone who of his caliber playing. And I think it was Duffy who said, like, we might even, and other people I'm sure too, but I heard Duffy say this, we might even have our left guard in-house already in TJ Bass.
Yeah, they did say that. And even Hoffman's not bad. Okay, so we're starting the clock again. Here we go. Here's our picks. And it's kind of shitty because Keon Coleman here would have been all right. We could have got Coleman.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Okay.
We didn't. It would have been nice now to get a tackle and then still get Coleman or Jermaine Burton. But hey, man, we went with LSU. We went with our dog, Thomas. So now we're on the clock, fellas. What do we want to do?
Keep scrolling. Keep on scrolling. Edrin Cooper.
Check that CB for me, man.
The CB?
Check that CB.
Kyrie?
Kyrie, yeah. What's his 411 here? So we got great coverage.
Ooh, good size too. 6'3", 195.
Huge guy. And what we're really looking for is someone, because I would prefer that we have, Gilly's not coming back, let's say, assuming in this, put Bland out on the the cornerback 2 position, Diggs on the cornerback 1 position, or however you want to do those guys. We're looking for kind of a slot dude. And I don't know if Kyrie Johnson plays a slot, but he's got some really good coverage. I think that would be, out of these top 5 dudes, that's my guy that I'm looking at. But let me hear what you guys have.
I'm looking at this cat right here.
I'm looking at Edrin Cooper.
Same.
Oh, okay. I didn't see him.
And we could get funky here. We could trade back 3 picks and possibly still get him.
I say.
Do we want to get crazy?
I say we risk it.
Do we want to risk it for that biscuit?
Yep.
Do it.
Let's see if we can pick up a 4th round. Let's see if we can pick up a 4th. We got 91% chance. We're gonna try to pick up their 4th and 2 4ths. Let's try it. We boosted it, baby. We boosted it. So that's
GM.
So we're gonna stop the clock. We're gonna stop the clock here. I'm not gonna resume draft because it's unfair. We can't see who's there. But let's just talk about what we did. We traded to go back 4 spots. We traded our 56th, to go back 3 spots, but we gained a 124 and a 128. That's big. That's 2. Yeah. That's 2 players. Even if one of those guys becomes a role player, Guys, and if we get Edgerrin Cooper here, because that's my pick right now, Edgerrin Cooper, if this worked out and we get Edgerrin Cooper at 59 and picked up 2 picks, I think it's a no-brainer.
That we boosted.
Hey, did they finally fix the picks for the boys? It looks like 120 is gone. 125 is gone.
I'll have to look. I'll look when we resume here. I'm resuming, okay?
Right under the round 2.
No,
that's the Houston Texans, I think. That's the Texans, AJ. Okay, I'm resuming draft, and I'm starting our 3-minute clock. So this is the thing, though. Our 124 and our 128 are only going to be a minute 30 picks.
So before you put it, just some Will McClay stuff in here. Haynes, Bebe, and Mahogany, all guards I'd be willing to look at in this range. So just if we're looking at guards. And then centers, Van Pran and Limmer could be cool in the 3rd.
Okay, well, let's check it out. Resume draft starting now.
Keon Coleman's there.
Edgerrin Cooper got taken.
Yeah, fuck.
Ow, for fuck's sake, of course.
Edgerrin Cooper got taken. There is a Junior Colson, but okay, guys, so right now we have 59 and 87. So the only cat here, AJ's guy got taken also. So the CB and the linebacker, the 2 guys we talked about got taken in those 3 picks. So
we picked up depth.
Oh man!
I mean, at this point, we
Junior Colson
should look O-line.
Okay, let's check out O-line.
Well, and then I just saw Junior Colson from Michigan is there.
Yep, but let's go IOL and OT.
Yeah,
I think you got to take either the Kieran here.
Haynes is one of the guys that EJ Savage.
So Haynes makes more sense if we're thinking that Tyler Smith gets knocked out.
Let's have a look at his stats.
This is where we work the system a little bit. We got a minute 52, so we could look at 2 guys.
He's a right guard.
Damn it!
Fuck. Which you have to look at. And he's only 6'2". I mean, that's not terrible for a guard. Guards can be smaller in stature.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that he's only a right guard, and I do think a right guard has an easier chance to bounce to left. But
Haynes could possibly transition to center, though, is what EJ said.
Okay, so he also has center snaps, but snaps by alignment, he still has 0. So this is my thing.
Yeah.
I get it that he could also play it, but I want to see someone that's actually played it in a game.
Yeah, Tyler Smith didn't have any snaps behind.
Yeah, but he went from left tackle in college to left guard. It's
which
easier
is very,
from going
very,
from
yes,
left tackle to left guard.
Totally agree.
Like him going from tackle to guard. Plus, it doesn't matter. Tyler Smith isn't. We got a minute here, fellas. If nothing, it's gonna be Jonah Ellis who has slid. You want the tackle?
What's that tackle? What's he look like?
Well, he looks like we got 45 seconds.
Let's see. First look, 6'5". Don't mind the size. Let's see what he's played.
6'5", 318.
He has played left tackle and he's played left guard. I think that's our guy.
Okay.
He played 669 snaps, so he can play left tackle or left guard.
Okay. Sweet. Okay.
I think we're good. And this is a guy that I can now look at because I haven't really looked at Kieran.
And we don't know.
Amagaji.
24 seconds.
Yeah, we're taking him. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team.
Good pick.
Okay.
Welcome to the team.
Don't look because we got to talk about what we did. The only reason I think we went with him there is because, okay, even in our futuristic draft or our theoretical draft, even if Tyler Smith now doesn't switch to left tackle, well, this guy is a left tackle.
Yep.
And even if Tyler Smith does, this guy's played left guard. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. So it's interesting, and it's a guy that we haven't talked about. So I also do like taking guys that we haven't talked about because now I'm going to be able to look into him and see what he's done.
Yeah, and we'll get. I mean,
and
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we'll get into the looks and stuff for our picks later on when we're not on the clock.
Oh yeah, we're about to be on the clock right now.
Oh, WayJ, sorry, WayJ, you got nothing.
Okay, this is our last.
No.
This is our last 3 minute. This is our last 3-minute-er, fellas.
Are you sure? I thought
that was only our second round.
Oh,
here we go. 3-minute-er.
Oh, right, we did the trade.
We traded.
We're gonna boost our true fourth round, but we did pick up two other fourth rounds, so that's really good. Here's what I like to look at with these safeties. Go check out there because sometimes the safety has a shit run blocking or defense. but they're really good on coverage. Not necessarily this guy here. He looks kind of all over.
And I
the
just have
place.
such a hard time taking a safety in the third.
No, but if the safety has great coverage and is only
You're thinking nickel.
pushed down because they have a bad run stop, then he could also come in and potentially fill some of that CB role. So,
Guys,
I don't know, man. I think Jalen Wright.
I was going to say, can I plead my Jalen Wright right now?
No, I don't mind taking a halfback.
I fucking Jalen Wright, man. 5'11", 210. The guy, he fucking booshed it in the 40s. He's fast as hell. He's not in the 220s plus, but he's 5'11". Like he's still a big dude. He's a stocky dude. His overall grade in 2023, 91. He's only gotten better over his college career. Like he's only exceeded expectations each year. His yards after contact is 4.35. This guy's a boosher.
And look at his receptions.
And he catches.
It's not a lot. Shows that he can catch the football. So
we need a running back, and I don't know if we're going to get a premier running back if we don't take one now. I think Jalen Wright at 81. I would love it. I would love it if we get him at 87. To be honest,
looking in a mirror with those stats: 5'11", 210.
Adds the white Jalen Wright.
Is it me? Oh, and of course, Cowboy Chris is saying Blake.
I know Chris is. Chris wants him, but look at this. He didn't get better in 2023. And let's see his size. We only got 58 seconds.
Okay.
He's 5'8", 213. He is stocky.
Go just all running backs, though. Go all running backs for a second.
I lost us here. Okay.
J.S. Emmons Jr. says, if the running back out of Notre Dame is there, take him.
That's Blake Corum. Or sorry, that's Michigan. My bad. Okay, running back out of...
Running back right there.
David. I think he's talking about Davis or Bucky Irvin. Sorry.
No, he's probably not there. No.
Bucky Irvin's Oregon. Guys...
Oregon.
I think we're going right. Sorry, Cowboys, Chris, but I think we're going right.
Chris, I tried to get him on the whole bench pressing thing today, and they just weren't having it.
I don't know. I don't know. Blake Corum ran a 4.5. Just saying. Blake Corum ran a 4.5.
Okay, we're taking Jalen Wright.
Welcome to the Sorry Cowboys, Chris. We love you. We still love you, and we hope we're right about this. Jalen Wright.
We hope we're Jalen Wright about this.
Okay, so this one we got to just trade. Now. So speak about your. While I do this, you guys talk about the last pick there.
Hey, we just made it. Hey,
we just made
your alarm went off.
We just made it.
Now here's the only caveat is while you're doing this, Ant.
Wait a sec. What pick is ours? 125 is the one that the Cowboys originally have, right? I'm gonna have to quickly check what PFF gives us.
If you scroll over to the Anyways, while you're doing that, me and Ad can talk our picks here. So we got a wide receiver, a tackle, and a running back.
Yep. So
we definitely need to focus on a linebacker.
We need a linebacker.
Defensive interior.
Yes. Yeah, linebacker.
Now, this is the big question too. Is Mozzie Davis going to take that sophomore step up that we're all hoping that he does?
Mozzie Smith.
Yeah.
From Michigan. Yeah. Well, and that's,
so if you think he is, we need to draft a defensive interior?
Well, and that's the thing. Are we they keep, Micah saying he wants a big, nasty defensive interior. You have that big, nasty defensive interior for Mozzie Smith. So from last season to this season, what changes are going to happen with Mozzie Smith? You're hoping that your first round overall pick last year is going to absolutely step it up coming into this. So, but it depends on who's on the board. So I agree with you. A defensive interior or a linebacker, we absolutely need to be targeting.
Okay, we have the 124 pick. It's 125 that we will trade away. And look who we're starting the clock. Only 1:30. We got to act quick. Look who's the second guy, Trey Benson. Fuck.
Trey Benson.
Which I would have been good with. Yeah, I would have been good with. And Braylon Allen. Dang.
Guys,
but
look, this is why we do these mocks. We're learning where players will lie. And we're purely basing this off of the inconsistency between PFF and the actual draft. So,
100%.
You're right, though. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just with J-Tuck, what I learned was if you feel that player is who you want to pick in the round, go for it. Let's not care about the rankings. But look,
we got 50
we're in too
seconds.
deep.
We got 50 seconds.
Okay,
So I
okay,
quickly
okay.
looked here
Let's
at
go.
defensive interior linebacker. These are the guys we got. So I really do think at this point we have to pick
DPA.
pick someone on defense here. And let's just take a look at this McKinley Jackson, another dude we haven't looked at. He's improved every year in college. He lines up as he's an A-gap guy, so he can clog the middle in 2023. That's what he predominantly played. Let's see what his size is here. 6'2", 325.
Ooh, I like the 325.
That meets the bill. That meets the bill.
Take him. 19 seconds. Take
We
him.
got 19 seconds or we're going to get stuck with a fucking safety.
Take him.
We're in
AJ?
too deep. Let's go.
Yeah, we're in too deep. We got to
Yeah.
take him. Okay. Welcome, McKinley I missed what his name was. McKinley Jackson.
Did you take the right guy?
McKinley okay, well, we're going to be trading this one away. Let's take a look to see what this guy looks like. Let's see what McKinley looks like.
We don't even know what our other guy looks like.
Who?
It's funny because as we were trying to pick, as we were picking the halfback, Ratio in the chat says Trey Benson or Braylon Allen, and we've talked about both of those guys before.
I would have liked both those guys. I mean, I would have been happy with either of those
guys?
dudes. But Jalen Wright
And
looks
just-
like he's going to be a beast.
And full context, like we are also using this as our motivation to go scout these players,
100%.
right? So it's, the guys that we already picked, sometimes we're looking at just trying to motivate ourselves to go and look at these guys.
Look at this. McKinley Jackson. Man,
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna fuck you up.
I like this dude. I do like this
That top-
dude.
Texas A&M.
That top button on his shirt looks like it's gonna just pop off with that thick.
45
to
6. He ain't burning. Let's read it. Let's see what he's got here for. I want to see his strengths here. Let's just read a couple strengths. Jackson has an excellent feel for working off blockers and knowing how and when to counter as the play goes on. That's great. And this is another one. Penetrates through gaps, often forcing running backs to elude him or the back end of the offensive lineman he's pushing before they even reach the line. We like that. Now let's get a negative on him.
I also like the comment next was despite his bowling ball build, he has good feet work.
That's what we want. We want a fucking bowling ball. And then scouting report, some of his weakness. Jackson doesn't move well laterally and doesn't have a lot of range when it comes to pursuing on the backside.
He's 325. Give him a break.
While Jackson has violent hands, he uses them too inconsistently. He tends to let blockers get in his chest and will waste time hand fighting due to a limited area of pass rush
Wait till he
moves.
starts boxing with Micah Parsons. Next.
I do like him. I think we've got ourselves a real one here, fellas.
See what I'm doing right now? I'm forcing positivity into his negativity scouting reports.
Well, it's not really a good negative on a
Adam-
326
hey, he's
guy.
he's part of the Cowboys.
Welcome to the team, McKinley.
Welcome to the team, McKinley. And Adam is playing the true role of Stephen Jones, where you just hammer it down and you say, we're just looking at the positives, ignore the negatives.
100%. And the negatives turn into a positive.
So I got to trade our
Exactly.
next pick here. I'm just giving it to. How do you do this? To be honest, because we're at
So
one.
select San Fran.
Okay, just find San Fran, Kate.
Even they're not
just,
going to want it.
Oh, okay, and then just give them
You
our
bet.
7th and give them our. Okay, got it. We boosted it.
And it's going to say, we're not going to, but we're not.
Okay, we'll get ready because we're on the clock again, fellas. We're started.
Yeah.
Resume draft.
You're giving us a minute 30.
That's all we get.
I thought we were only doing a minute.
No, minute 30.
Okay, I like that.
Ad said he had read the rules, but he didn't, baby. Guys, a lot of
Braylon Allen's still there.
Cedric
Whoa,
Gray.
Is this
Let's see the Cedric Gray
This
because
is
he's a linebacker.
I missed what
this
AJ.
is our pick now?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is our pick. We're at 128. We traded for
shit.
124 and 128. So we're right up here
Now,
again.
Call me fucking ludicrous.
Okay,
We got
Luke.
drafted a DI, right?
Yes,
last
we just
round?
did. Yep.
Call me ludicrous.
Okay,
If
Luke.
If Braylon Allen is in the 5th round, I know we drafted a running back. I'm just saying, let's consider that. That's wild.
You are ludicrous. 6'2",
Luda.
245?
Yeah, Braylon's Braylon's the big guy.
I know who Braylon, but I just look at this guy, Cedric Gray,
Yeah, what's his stats again?
who only got better, and he's 6'2", 235.
Ooh.
He's still a guy that can bang.
He's a big body linebacker.
And I'm just saying, like,
What's his speed?
We
What's
need
his
it.
combine speed?
well, we're not getting that. We got we got 14 seconds.
My vote's the linebacker.
I think linebacker over running
Linebacker.
back. Is that what we're doing?
Linebacker.
Yeah, linebacker.
Okay, Cedric
Lock it
Gray.
up.
We had
Welcome to
to.
the team.
We had to. Welcome to the team, Seti. Seti Gray.
Seti the entertaining. We need it. We needed it.
Oh, okay.
Right on time.
I don't know if we have to talk much about it. Do you want to look at him at all, or what do you think?
I wanted to see what he looks like.
Cedric Gray?
Yeah.
Okay.
We gotta get a visualization.
Well, especially if it's someone that we've never drafted before. This is our best way of learning.
Yeah,
who
I got to
people
eyeball
are.
test this guy. Like, what if all of a sudden?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Clean cut.
Kind of looks like Carlton, but
yeah, kind of looks like Carlton. You're absolutely right.
it's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Okay, his 40-yard time 4.64.
He ain't blazing. That's
okay.
for sure. But he's not small. He's 234.
He's the 8th.
Ooh,
He's the 8th ranked for that position. And
That's good.
Pretty good in a 5th round.
That's not bad at all.
For a 5th round. And Gus says his nickname is 50 Shades of Cedric Gray, so he's already sold on it.
That is good. Do you want to hear a strength?
Yeah.
Elite athletic skills. Made Bruce Feldman's freaks list, which isn't great because Mozzie was the top of that last year. He wrote at 6'3", 270. What?
This is
that's not the right guy. He's definitely not 6'3", 270. So we'll go to the second one. Gray can be used as a rangy run defender inside, instinctive when it comes to locating the ball with the quickness to get it to before blockers can react at the second level. That works great with the defensive interior we took the round prior, right? And then he plays bigger than his listed size with the functional strength and motor to take on and hold ground against much bigger blockers.
Look at the next one. That's the one that's the comment I like right there.
He has compact build, but Gray is a crafty edge player who's very good against the run. He sets the edge and effectively wards off blocks with a strong core, powerful limbs, and natural leverage.
I like this pick.
I like it. Do you want to hear negative?
I like 50 Shades of Gray of Cedric Gray.
He'll need to be covered up to be effective. That's why we took a DI.
That's why we took him, you idiot.
He's not the kind of guy you can line up in the pass rush and have him bend the edge. We're not looking for him to be that guy.
Nope.
He's limited to shooting through gaps. That's perfect.
Yep.
As a run defender, he's too much of a grab and drag tackler, lacking violence and too frequently allowing running backs to escape. Not great. Don't like to hear that.
Zimmerman is going to be able to inject that dog into him. He's going to program him from the movie The Program.
Yep.
He's going to get him all hopped up on
Get him all
He's
jacked.
going to get him all hopped up on
juice?
Yeah.
He's not a guy who can be put on the edge every down and be expected to be consistently create pressure. That's not what we're looking for at all.
Yeah,
in our linebackers,
don't you know what we're looking for here?
Okay, so now we got 173. You guys ready? Because we're starting to boosh right now. Okay, 130.
Now these are free for all picks.
Yeah, these are kind of like. Now we're definitely look at all the Michigan boys.
Ooh, look at those Michigan boys.
So what are we thinking? What do we got?
Guard?
You want to look at guard?
Yeah, let's take a look at
Trevor Keeg.
Dallas Cowboys. Chris, if you're still out there, give us the lowdown in 10 seconds about Keegan.
Left guard, played predominantly left guard. His first look, he's 6'6", kind of big for a guard, 320. So he's a bruiser. He's gonna knock you out. But
test him on some tackle.
You could.
It's
not gonna hurt. So Miles Murphy's there. We're not gonna take. Do you want to check out this Michigan tackle or?
Cowboy Reg says stay away from the Michigan guys.
I know. Well, that's why I made that joke post where all I did was draft Michigan Wolverines.
Ooh,
look at all the Michigan guys.
Jalen Smith.
Simpson.
Jalen Simpson.
Okay,
let's have a look.
I don't mind safety right now. if you can get a safety that's playing 6'1", 178, we got 29 seconds. I don't mind safety here because at this point you're trying to find special teams players also.
And real quick, look at his 2023 comparables. The reason he's so far down is because he's a safety and his run defense is crap.
Right.
But we can bring him in, play him in a more of a cornerback position, and he's not going to have to worry about that. He's actually really good at covering.
AJ, you sold me. We got to take him. we had to take him. We had to take Jalen Simpson, or we were just going to be taking a random. So let's check out Jalen Simpson here.
Cowboy Chris said you won't pick him anyways. So that's why I didn't say anything.
You know what? We need to get Cowboys Chris on, and we're gonna do. Ant, I saw you do that full Michigan draft.
Yeah.
And I didn't just screw up. That's how I say Michigan. I say Michigan. So.
Well, we're doing a Tuesday show next week. Cowboys Chris, if you want to come on and do a mock draft with us.
I think that's when they do their show now.
Oh, damn.
They do their show on Tuesdays now. So
I thought it was Wednesdays for
No, it used to be, and it changed. But okay, so this is
Chris on and do that.
Jalen Simpson. He actually kind of looks like an actor that I can't think of who, but
Oh,
Jalen Simpson.
It's the dude who is the sex offender Marvel guy.
No, he's not a sex
Oh.
offender. He was
No, he got himself beat up.
Aggravated assault.
Got himself beat up, right?
Yeah.
Oh no,
No,
I
you're-
know.
no,
he, yes, you're right.
He's
He
talking
does
about
look like that
Kang.
guy.
He's talking about Kang.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But anyway, so let's see what. Let's read. So Jalen Simpson, we went safety, which I don't hate at this point. Does a good job getting his head around in time when playing with his back to the line of scrimmage. Has the ability to cover quickness underneath.
Coveling.
Reads the quarterback and gets good breaks on the ball. Bigger hitter than his slight frame implies. Like that. Closes quickly and generates explosion. Give me one that you want to read there.
It's too small for me. I wasn't looking.
Oh, you
His
looking
tall framed with long arms to match with his powerful hands, straight line speed, and fluidity in his hips, turning and chasing downfield shouldn't be a problem.
Looking at ad screen. That's very impressive. Good reading because that is.
You're welcome.
That is very tiny. AJ, we'll give you.
Paid for these motherfucking eyes.
We'll
dog.
give you a couple weaknesses here. Has tense ankles
Always love to hear it.
has tense ankles and hips with choppy footwork when attempting to redirect and doesn't always look natural changing directions. He's just like a floppy fucking. He's just running downfield.
Oh,
all
no.
floppy.
I don't like this one. He'll draw plenty of flags early on with his playing style. Simpson is hesitant when facing the action and zone
That's
coverage.
okay. Zimmer will get rid of that.
Yeah.
He sounds like a project, and you're going to pick up projects late in the draft. That's what we did.
I'm going to cut your ass. You can't cut me.
You can't cut me, man. I'm a fifth round
So
pick.
we got 213 and 242. Or is that where our next one is?
here we are. This is our 213, 242.
Welcome to the draft.
Welcome, guys.
Okay, Tanner Bortoloni.
We've taken him. We've taken him before, but center makes sense here.
Yeah.
But I think for the exercise.
Well, that wasn't a rule that we couldn't take.
No, there's no rule, but I'm just saying for us to learn more players.
Okay.
We've learned Tanner Bortolini,
Well,
who
we're
might
gonna
be.
take Omar Brown. We just took a safety.
You got Jace McClellan, who AJ
McClellan?
liked.
McCullen.
I also, just for shits and gigs, I like
Okay, I don't mind this.
I like Tyron Hopper, another linebacker for depth and for special teams play.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's check out his size though.
Yeah.
He really sucked in 2023.
Let's check out his size. He was trash.
I don't like it. 6'2", 221. Don't like that.
And go back to his stats quickly, Ant, and
'Kay.
just scroll down to his position play, and we'll see what if he.
40 seconds.
Okay, so he's played the same position 3 years.
I don't like him.
Sometimes they'll do a switch in the third or second year, and
What about Julian
That's not
Pearl?
bad.
Have we picked him?
We've done O-line. We need something different here.
Okay, keep scrolling down then.
I don't like any of these.
Josh Wallace. There's our Michigan guy, or DeQueen Hardy.
I don't know.
if we have time, throw up that trade and let's just take
18
it.
seconds. 18 seconds.
Ooh, that's far back.
Yeah, we
let's-
can't do
let's
it.
Take it, boy.
Who?
Who do we need?
Ah!
Who do we need?
We're taking Julian Pearl. No, take Tanner. We need a center.
I don't know what you're saying.
Right there. Yeah, there we go.
Oof. That's good. That's
Woo!
good. Hey,
I just
here's the
came.
thing about O-line is you just can never have enough.
Yeah.
So we've
Ant's a depth boy.
and he's a safety. We need a center. We need a center. We're not even looking at him because we drafted him before. We're in the final pick of our draft, and we're about to boosh our minute 30.
Take Curtis. Call me Curtis Jackson Jacobs, linebacker, Penn State. What's his Penn State?
I'm a size guy at this point. You need measurables
Yeah.
this
So
late.
what's his first look?
He's,
Nah.
I mean, he's not terrible.
Penn State's a linebacking place, so-
Linebacker,
Linebacker, you. So it's not
Yeah.
terrible.
No, and we don't want to replicate what we have with Overshown because Overshown is essentially
is that
a
guy?
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
this year for a linebacker. So let's not double down on that.
Hey, what do you
Hey.
guys think about Tua?
I mean,
Talia, what quarterback at this point?
he's tiny. He's tiny. He's probably not going to be anything his brother is. But if that's a backup,
Man,
5'11", 208.
I don't love it.
I don't love it. I
But
don't
hey.
hate it, but I also like taking a quarterback. Or do we look
And
at?
when you look
Do
at
you
what
want to
we
look at
have
this
here-
quarterback? Do you want to look at Carter Bradley?
2 first names.
6'3", 216.
He has
Now
the
here's the
specs.
thing, boys. I'm a bloodline type of guy. I'm a McCaffrey because of the bloodline, and
30
I'm a
seconds.
Tagovailoa.
Well, I think we
Because
got to
of the
take him just
bloodline.
to be married to him for the rest of his career. You know how it is with
Let's do it.
CanFan. We draft someone one time, and we essentially imprint on them.
15
and
seconds.
Is that what we're doing? Are we imprinting on
Let's
on
do it.
Talia
Okay. Yeah,
Tagovailoa?
we're taking him.
Welcome to the team, TT.
It's not it's not going to be worse than a 6th-round pick for Deuce Vaughn to take a quarterback in the 7th. So
Cowboy Red says the fucking war room, boys. I love it.
The war room. Hey, man, it's looking all right.
Hey, we got to say this is a pretty good grade here, boys.
This is good, man.
Take a screenshot of this one though. We didn't do the last one. B+.
Well, you can download it.
I'll download image right now.
Sweet.
It's down. It's boosted out. I don't hate it, man.
Let's have a look at the players, not the grades. The grade, of course, we're grade whores, and we want that high grade. But we made the trade, and so it's always gonna fuck us up, right?
Yeah.
We made that trade, which is like not a good trade.
You what? Oh, you mean the trade with San Fran because we're stuck with that 4th round? But guys, I'll say this: that trade with Houston,
huge,
to move back 3 spots to pick up 2 4th rounds. I'm taking that all day, every day. I don't even care who's on the board at 50. I mean, granted, we missed out on Edgerrin Cooper and the cornerback that AJ wanted, but to pick up then with those 2 picks, we picked up McKinley Jackson, who's gonna probably battle Mozzie Smith for playing time, and then Cedric Gray, who's also going to help this linebacking core.
50 Shades of Cedric Gray.
50 Shades of Cedric Gray. Like that, those were 2 picks that are going to help this team. And we still got a very good Kieran Amagaji who can play tackle and guard.
And we got Brian Thomas Jr.
So I'm going to deep dive on, I'm going to
BTJ up top.
BTJ up top, who we've actually liked from day one.
Tanner, I sound like a ravioli Bordolini.
Tanner, I sound like I could be ordered at a restaurant. Bordolini.
Tanner Bordolini. I'll take the Tanner Bordolini, please.
I'll get, you know what? I really want a spicy Tanner Bordolini.
Ooh, Tanner Bordolini. Hold the cheese. I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah. Can I get the Bordolini, please? And I just want extra croutons.
Oh, Bordolini, Tortellini.
Guys, end of the day, I don't hate this draft, and it's going to be exciting to follow. I love this. I love being able to follow guys. And the best part about this, in drafts we've done prior, never taken Kieran, never taken Jalen, never taken McKinley, never taken Cedric, never taken Jalen, and never taken Talia Tagovailoa.
Taulia Tagovolia.
So fellas,
again, that's a bloodline decision.
That was in the 7th. I like that you said it's no worse than Deuce Vaughn in the 6th. It really isn't. In my mind, it's not. That's you're throwing up, you're getting a quarterback. Who knows? Maybe ends up being eventually your backup quarterback at best. At worst, it was a 7th round pick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, fellas, good draft, good episode. We will be back possibly Sunday. We don't know. We're kind of in the middle of, do we go live on Sundays? Do we not go live on Sundays? You're just going to have to stay tuned. AJ, again, from across the Pacific Ocean in Thailand, repping the Bandwagon Boys for life. Adbest chilling to my left. Man, it was a good show and even a better draft.
Micah Parsons was a guest on our show.
I can't believe we got the Edge Micah. No, the Edge Micah Parsons. All right, we will be back at least, or for sure, on Wednesday night, the main event. Crack them if you got them.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, the main event. Crack them if you got them.
Oh, I'm supposed
I know. I'm waiting for you to play music or do something. And you're just... You fucking Bordolini!
Cowboy Reg, Gus, James Knight, Dallas Cowboys,
chat,
Chris.
Love you, chat. Love you, chat. Love you, chat.
Love you guys.
We out. Ad's just flexing on it.